let's dive into it. Ty's going to be our expert on this one. Look, Cody and I are going to have a little bit of fun trolling, but I think there is a little question mark. They've lost 3 wide receivers in a week now. Some big guys that came in and were supposed to be, I would say, impact players. Jordan Scott, Hakeem Williams, and lastly, Jaylen Brown, who was to transfer from LSU, have all entered into the portal. And I hit Tyler, go, hey, like, who are you guys going to throw it to? But then I remembered, you got Gus Malzahn, who just had RJ Harvey and running back you over there. Who was their quarterback? He was a running back, but who was it? You know who it is.
KJ Jefferson?
Yeah, basically they had a 2 running back system over there at UCF and didn't throw the ball there. So then I realized, like, well, Thomas Castellano, he ran the ball at Boston College. This is going to be a completely new team from what we saw last year. You're becoming the new Wake Forest, if I do say so myself. Where's the
Thank you. That's
I love that.
That is like, I don't think you should be able to. We should not be Wake Forest. Like, that's generous to us. Thank you.
Are you in shambles, Ty? Talk to me, bud.
I mean, it's just like I don't know where our team's headed. I don't like just. I know we bring in Gus Malzahn, and obviously, if you're a wide receiver and you want to produce numbers to try to make the league, like, Florida State's not the spot for you because Gus Malzahn's going to run the ball again. So it's going to be hard for them to produce numbers and show off for scouts if you want to make the league. It's not good for them. So I totally understand why these wide receivers are transferring. From what I understand, Jaylen was dismissed from the team. I don't know why. I just heard he was dismissed from the team. Probably pissed off because he got 1 ball thrown to him in 3 weeks. I don't know, like, it's probably what happened. We probably threw the ball 3 times over a 3-week span.
Cody?
Well, I'll tell you this. Over there in Tallahassee, what they're doing is they're not even running routes anymore. They're just going to tight end blocking drills because they're running the freaking veer, okay? That's all they're going to do is run the veer. They don't need to catch balls. You need to freaking block, okay? Now, you may not get into the NFL, but who cares? Who cares? Make one hell of an inline tight end if you could bulk up a little bit. I don't know.
Listen, it's like Novocaine. Give it time. It always works, baby.
Yeah. So last year, you guys last couple of years, finished in the top 5, we can probably say comfortably in the transfer portal. I mean, him and Lane definitely were wearing the crowns of Portal King. Obviously, Coach Prime and Deion Sanders is in that conversation as well. But this year, ranked 26th, and it's not like you had, I mean, you did a great recruiting class off that one big portal cycle and obviously going 13-0 that year. But last year, the class kind of fell back a little bit, and not to mention, a lot of the guys that made that class great are now gone. So you're in a weird situation where all the momentum that you had from going at 13-0 season has kind of been sucked out of the room a little bit. And FSU fans, again, I see it. I like to kind of troll and have fun, but just to kind of get a pulse. The vibe's not there. It's just you're not excited. Look, Florida fans, we've been there. We know what you're working with. It's not a good place right now for you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, when you sit back and you look, I just want to talk about the 13-0 team real quick. That team had to be the most talented team we've ever had, and the only reason is because I'm not a huge fan of Norvell. I don't think I don't like what he does. I don't like his style of game.
That Norvell should give half his money to Jordan Travis. So I agree with you. It's a well-talented
team. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Travis ran that team. I mean, he was the coach of that football team. Like, let's go.
Oh, it's like $60 million. It's a gross, right?
$63 million?
What's that? Oh, what we're paying him? Oh, dear. Yeah. That 13-0 season made him all the money in the universe, buddy. And I didn't like it for 1 second. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I knew that team had loads of NFL talent on it. And you can go back, and I think 3 of them were drafted in the first round. You had Fisk, or he was in the second round, but you had Fisk, and you had Verse, and you had Keon Coleman, and you had Jordan Travis leading that team. I mean, that team was – I think they had 9 guys go to the league.
Trey Benson, too. Trey Benson went to the league. And
Benson was in the league. And then Kalen DeLoach made a team.
He was a second or third running back.
The whole D front. And Patrick Payton was made by that whole other front 3 because Patrick Payton looked like Jesus coming off that edge when Verse and all those other guys were there. But when he had to do it himself, he was nothing. I mean, he was absolutely nothing. Now he's over at LSU with soft-ass Brian Kelly, who can't coach defense either. So, I don't know.
Oh, he's hot. He's hot. You got Alabama game 1, which should be fun. But you think, too, like how much did not go in?
That was almost Alabama's head coach there.
Yeah, that's true. You wonder how much of, again, the ACC, FSU wanting out of the ACC not getting much love. Now, I think the 12-team playoff changes some things, but how much of them being left out of the playoff is affecting his ability to recruit? I don't know. Because again, I think he was able to put a team together in the portal and have success. He showed that. And again, the portal is a lottery ticket, as is recruiting. So when you're kind of living and dying by that, you're gonna have those massive ebbs and flows. And right now, I think they're probably, in my opinion, in the worst place they've been since Norvell's got there. Maybe outside the first year.
To show how bad it is, I can guarantee you can go back and look, and under 13-0, you will never see another team play as poorly as FSU played last year the very next year. So he was carried by a bunch of talent, and now that he's got a coach, we're just not doing it. So, I'm not super excited about it, but we're stuck. I mean, you gave him too much money. It is what it is, Hopefully he turns it around and makes me look like an idiot, and I will.
Always due for a surprise. But I'm telling you, Clemson, I feel like he's found his footing over there. Dabo has a little bit. I think they're going to be a solid team next year. SMU looks exciting. North Carolina and Belly, that's one to watch. Hey, and I love me some Fran Brown out in Syracuse. I am team orange, bro. I love it. I love watching it. I love his charisma on the mic. I eat it up. I think he's putting an SEC culture up there, and they're going to be a team to watch out for. I think Miami takes a little bit of a step back, but I still think they're going to be better than FSU this year. So, but you never know. You also thought Florida State. I mean, they were top 5 going into last year and completely laid an egg. See, it's hard to really get a gauge of, especially with the portal cycle, how quickly a team can flip.
With the portal now, you don't know who the top 5 teams are anymore. You have no idea.
Point.
I mean,
because a couple of guys can make such a big impact. Sorry, Cody. But I just think
before we move on, before we move on to the next topic, real fast, is this worse than Willie Taggart?
No,
I don't. It's definitely not that bad.
Not yet.
We had guys lining up backwards, buddy. I mean, there's nothing that'll ever take that. Willie Taggart was a different human.
But if this year's bad, you got a 13-0 season in ACC championship, so it's hard. You didn't get that with Willie. You can't compare the two.
Not even close.
You can't compare him, Cody.